Well, hello and welcome to Life Coach University and another Pay It Forward talk. My name is Norma Frahn, and I'm a life and health coach. And in my coaching practice, I work with women who struggle with emotional eating, their relationship with food in their bodies, and everything else. So I like to share a lot of that information and some of the learnings that my clients have experienced here on my Pay It Forward talks because it's real life. It's real things that people are dealing with that I don't think are contained to those that have actually reached out for coaching. These are things that we're all experiencing. So that's a little bit about what I like to share here on my Pay It Forward talks. So if you're new to the Pay It Forward or PIF talk, basically what this means is that the coaches here at Life Coach University will present these talks free of charge. They're accessible to everybody. The only thing that we ask is that you pay it forward with some act of kindness today, whether it's sharing something you learned or holding the door open for a stranger. It doesn't matter. We just want to spread kindness and happiness to as many people as we possibly can. So that is what we're all about. So I'm going to go through my talk that I've prepared, and I will be happy to take questions at the end. And you can do that just by opening the Q&A box on the bottom of your Zoom screen if you're here live, typing your questions in, and I will be sure to answer them all before we wrap up. So let's just dive right in. So I've mentioned that I like to talk about real life stuff, things that I've been able to help with other clients with, things that people are talking about. And today, the big broad umbrella topic is happiness. So when I talk with people that are joining my programs or thinking about it, I often start with a what I think or thought was a really simple question. What makes you happy? And you'd think that'd be easy to answer, right? But so many times I'm met with completely blank stares. It's like they've all forgotten what joy feels like. And and they've all just they can't quite put their finger on what happiness feels like unless it's tied to being a certain size or losing a certain amount of weight. So think about it. When was the last time that you did something just because it made you feel good? Not because you were rewarding yourself for losing a couple pounds, but just because. Now, I've been there. I've spent years putting my life on hold, saying things like, I'll do that when I lose the weight, or when I lose the weight, I'll wear that thing, or I'll try for that job. It doesn't matter what it was. There was always a condition on that thing that I wanted to do that would make me feel happy of being a certain size or losing a certain number of pounds. But here's the kicker. Why are we waiting? Why do we believe we're not allowed to grab a piece of happiness until that scale gives us permission? Now, I used to dodge things like family gatherings. I'd skip out on fun things to do with friends when I was invited. I'd even pass up opportunities at work, all because I thought I needed to be a certain weight to deserve those moments. Anyone else? Are you feeling that? So here's the thing. This thinking, it's a trap. We convince ourselves that life will start when we're thinner. But guess what? Life is happening right now. And it's passing us by if we're waiting to be happy, if we're waiting for that scale to give us the magic number to be happy. So the real truth kind of behind this, believing that you'll only be happy if you're thinner, is a lie that we've been sold. And that's a tough pill to swallow. I know that. But happiness isn't waiting on the other side of weight loss. It's waiting for us to realize that we deserve it right now, just as we are. So I know, easier said than done. What do we do about it? How do we change this way of thinking? We have to start by calling out the BS. We have to stop waiting for that perfect moment. We have to start living our lives today, wearing the clothes we want, going to the family events, doing the things we love, showing up for ourselves, regardless of the size of our body. Now, again, easier said than done, I know, but it's not about giving up on being healthy or wanting or giving up on wanting to feel good in our bodies or even giving up on weight loss. It's about not letting those goals stop us from enjoying life right now. It's about understanding that our worth isn't tied up in the number on the scale. And if weight loss is something that you're pursuing, like I said, I'm not saying to give up on it. I'm just saying it's important to learn how to be happy all the way down the scale. It doesn't just magically appear when you hit your target weight. Now, maybe some of you have experienced this. I know I have. I hit my target weight so many times over the course of my dieting career, and nothing magical happened. I was still the same person with the same problems, the same insecurities. I was just in a smaller body, and things didn't change. I didn't learn to be happy until I started allowing myself to be happy at every size. So that's really the mission of much of the work that I do is helping women look inside for the joy and the happiness and stop tying it to the number on the scale or the dress size that you wear. We have to be in this together. So, and reminding each other that it's okay, that we can be happy and weight doesn't have to limit us. So, my hope is that you can start believing it and start living it right now. Because the truth is, you're worthy of happiness. It doesn't matter what size you are. You are perfect just as you are right now. So do those things. Start with baby steps. Is there like this really great haircut you've been dying to get, but you've been telling yourself you need to get a little thinner face before you do it? Go make the appointment and get your hair cut. Accept the invitation to this event. It doesn't matter what size you are. Someone invited you because they want you there. So accept it, embrace the discomfort of it, and go. Or try something new. Is there something you've always wanted to do, but you've thought, oh, I can't do that until I lose weight, or I'm not fit enough and to do that? I have a friend who was really interested in learning to play pickleball. It's a big thing here in the US now, maybe other places too, but she was waiting. She had said to me just the other day, I think if I lose another 10 or 20 pounds, it'll be okay for me to go play pickleball. And I was like, why? Why not go play it now? Go enjoy it now. Learn to play it now. Losing the weight isn't going to make it any less scarier. I know you think it will, but don't put it on hold. You're dying to do it. Go do it. Things like taking a trip. Oh boy, I used to put off vacations, entire vacations, weeks away to a beautiful place because I wanted to look different. Don't do that. There's so much to see in life and do in life, and waiting is not going to make the weight or whatever it is you're trying to improve come off any faster. Go enjoy those things. Things that I think will help you do this, because like I said, it's not easy. I'm not suggesting that it is. Looking inward and doing these uncomfortable things can be really hard. We can do hard things. Some of the things that helped me on my journey of untangling all this was to focus on the non-scale victories, the things that weren't tied to my weight. Because when I fixated on that number, I missed out on celebrating all of the other achievements. So a win, here's a win or a non-scale victory. Did you try some different foods this week? Did you make a recipe that turned out really good? Did you decide to speak up in that meeting at work instead of waiting for the perfect moment to say what's on your mind and then somebody else got to it before you did? That's a win. You showed up for yourself. Find those little victories and celebrate those and take some of that focus off the scale. And then I know this is might sound a little cliche because you hear it every place to these days, but practice gratitude. And I don't mean like gratitude about I have a beautiful family and I have a good job and that those are all wonderful things. But practice being grateful for the things that you do or you have or you've created in your life that's only yours. You're a kind person. You're a caring mother. Show yourself where you can give yourself credit for the things that are making your life and the lives of other people really good. So practicing that gratitude super important. And then don't forget about your self-care. There's so many benefits to taking care of yourself. And I don't mean just like, the bubble baths and the manicures. Drink some water today. Get a little movement in, not for exercise or for weight loss, because it's good for your body. Just move your arms and legs and just get some movement in, and then get some sleep. Water, sleep, and movement are the three things that can make you feel infinitely better, not only about yourself, but physically better. So take care of yourself. And those little small steps, you can start to find happiness today and not waiting for it to show up on the scale. All right, that's what I have for my talk today. Let's see what we've got for questions. All right, let's start with this one because this is really common. How do I handle negative self-talk when I'm trying to enjoy my life regardless of my weight? This is huge and such a great question. So, first of all, it's it starts with awareness. If you've followed me or listened to any of my other talks, I think I talk about awareness every single time. You have to notice and know that you're doing this thing, and in this case, the negative self-talk. You have to notice it, know when it pops up, and how to gently challenge it. You can say things to yourself like, nope, we're not doing that today. When that thought comes up that, oh, I'm too fat. I shouldn't be doing this thing. Nope, that's not true. We're not doing it today. Just little subtle things, almost like answering yourself back whenever you hear those negative comments or that negative self-talk just shows up. Pay attention to it, notice when it shows up, and then gently move it away. Now, one of the things that has my some of my clients have told me has been very helpful is an exercise that I offer to someone who really is struggling with negative self-talk, and that's to notice and keep a list. Just open a note on your in your app on your phone, and every time you jot down or every time you hear something negative, a negative piece of self-talk, just put it on your list. Don't think about it. You don't have to do anything with it. Just put it on the list. Close the app. After a few days or a week, go back and look at your list. You're going to be a little bit shocked at first of all, the number of ways you participate with this negative self-talk. And you might be a little shocked about the things that you're saying to yourself. If you can look at your list objectively, kind of like a little bit like an out-of-body experience, you can look at your list without making it mean anything about you and just see the way you talk to yourself. I had one client say to me that, oh my gosh, the way I talk to myself kind of borders on abusive. I mean, I wouldn't say the things that I say to myself to another human on the planet. And it was just a really eye-opening experience, and it helps shine the light, give you that awareness so you can really focus on dialing it down, gently redirecting it so that it doesn't become the dialogue that drives you forward. Because right now, a lot of us are like living and breathing within our negative self-talk. All right, so I hope that helped. That was a long about answer. Let's see. Can you recommend some specific resources or practices to boost your self-esteem? Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, hmm, let me go back to one that I mentioned before, and that is giving yourself some credit. Now, this is different from daily affirmations. Now, they can be great, but the thing I struggle with affirmations is that if you don't believe the affirmation, it's not going to stick. It's not going to have a lot of value or worth to you. You've got to inch your way towards an affirmation that you can actually believe and latch onto. And a great way to do that is by giving yourself credit or showing yourself some gratitude for all the ways that you are worthy and you are showing up in your life. And eventually, maybe you'll get to that daily affirmation that really sticks, or you can come up with one that's a little bit benign in nature and doesn't feel like it's so far away. Like, for instance, one that I used to use a lot, and I still do. I use this all the time, actually. Just two words. I just remind myself that today matters. Today's important. And I only have today. I can't change what I did yesterday. And tomorrow isn't here. So why am I worrying about all that stuff? Today matters. And it helps me just kind of stay in that headspace of making choices, making decisions about how I want to show up in my world today. And it's great for reminding yourself that how can I be happy today? What will make me happy today? So today matters is a really good one if anybody wants to adopt that one. Let's see. Okay, this is one that I hear a lot, and truthfully, I don't know if I have the best answer because it's so individual, but I'm going to try. So the question is, how do I deal with family or friends who comment on my weight or my eating habits? So maybe you know what I'm going to say. Boundaries. Boundaries is key. Now, it's not boundaries for them, it's boundaries for yourself. How much are you willing to tolerate or engage with or deal with? So, this is kind of maybe you can just say something like this. I appreciate your concern, but I'm focused on my happiness and health in a way that's best for me right now. Or I really prefer just to talk about something else. And I know neither of them are ideal and they sound kind of canned, but take them kind of as a starting point and think about how you want to respond, what feels good and aligned with you, knowing that it's going to be a little uncomfortable, whatever you come up with. Because, first of all, maybe you've never done that before. And most likely, the people around you, your family and your friends, probably are not expecting you to say something like that. So, of course, it's going to feel uncomfortable. But you have the right to steer those conversations away from topics that make you uncomfortable. And unfortunately, you're the only one that can do that. So you've got to kind of muster it up. And this could be a great thing to give yourself credit for when you do it. It's going to feel amazing the first time you do it. After it feels like you want to throw up, it's going to feel amazing. And you're going to have a fantastic piece of credit to give yourself. Um, Good one. Okay, what if I start wearing what I want, but I still feel self-conscious? You know what? That's normal, and it's going to happen. It's likely going to happen, especially in the beginning. So remind yourself that confidence grows with practice. You just don't wake up one day and have confidence. You have to practice doing the thing that makes you feel uncomfortable. And each and every time you do it, like in this example, you wear something that makes you feel happy, you're taking a little step towards self-acceptance, really, is what it is. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to want to run and hide probably. But when you do it and then do it again tomorrow and you do it again the next day, you start to build the confidence. You start to have greater self-acceptance. It's a beautiful thing. This was a big one for me. My husband used to tease me. My wardrobe was the colorful array of black, navy blue, and gray because I believed black made you look thinner, or I was trying and I was trying to hide my body. And wearing any kind of a pattern or print or bright color, never in a million years would I have done that. But I wanted to. I desperately wanted to wear really pretty clothes that I didn't cover up with big long black sweaters. And boy, the day that I left that big long sweater home and just wore a colorful blouse, I'll never forget it. It was bright red. It was the most terrifying day of my life. But when I got to the end of the day, I realized nothing bad happened. Nobody said a mean thing to me. And in fact, I got more compliments than I ever had on what I was wearing. And I know that sounds really vain, but when you're trying to hide your body and trying to make yourself look a different way for so long, getting a compliment is a big deal. So I had to, that part was uncomfortable too, but looking back at the end of the day, I really gave myself credit because that was a big deal. And I did it again the next day and the next day. And I finally got to a point where the only person whose opinion matters about what I'm wearing is me. And that's it. And it's so much freedom. There's so much freedom there. So I'd encourage you to keep trying, embrace the uncomfortable, and just know that you're going to get to the end of the day and you're going to feel amazing about yourself. All right. Oh, so many good questions. All right, here's a great one. How can I stay motivated to enjoy life now when society is constantly pushing us to lose weight? Oh, boy, I wish I had an easy answer for this. I think there's lots of things that we can do as individuals to kind of like de-influence ourselves. I don't know that as an individual we can change the world. And right now, our society does say, or our society kind of dictates that to be acceptable and worthy, you have to be this particular size. And that's like the crime of it all. But we don't have to buy in. So, a couple of tips that I would do: clean up your social media, block, um, report even things that are not aligning with you. Um, clean it up. Only have follow people whose values are aligned with yours, who, if like you said, you're not interested in weight loss at this point in your life, unfollow the people that are. Hit those little buttons to tell Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is that you don't want to see ads for weight loss medication, or you don't want to see ads for fitness supplements or whatever it is. Clean up your own little environment and minimize the amount of exposure that you have to those things that might feel a little bit triggering, especially if you're trying to experience happiness that's not tied to a number on the scale. And do the same thing with your emails. And, maybe you've subscribed to a bunch of stuff and you're still getting all these emails from these different people, different weight loss programs, or whatever it is. Unsubscribe, clean that up. Focus on what really is aligned and feels right for you. I'll give you an example of one of the things I had to do. I used to believe that success stories, weight loss success stories, and before and after pictures were motivating. I mean, I would go on the hunt for them. I would subscribe to them. I would buy magazines just to read the before and after articles, just because I just kept telling myself that that's going to motivate me. If they can do it, I can too. What I think I've learned in hindsight is those things are triggering for me. And it actually made me feel worse about myself. Not better, didn't motivate me, actually made me feel worse. So had to stop. I just had to stop seeking that kind of content out. And things got a little better when I did that. I was able to kind of look inward, like I talked about in the beginning, much easier when I wasn't comparing myself to everybody else's success stories. So I hope that helped. Let's check the time. I think we've got time for one more question. Let's see. Yeah, let's end with this one. This is a good one. This is a little bit of a deeper question, but I'll try to do it quickly. How do I celebrate my body when I still struggle with body image issues? Great question. And again, I'm not sure that there's a perfect answer, but I think what we need to recognize is that if you're struggling with body image issues, it's not going to change overnight. This kind of goes back to the affirmation comment that I made earlier, that if you don't believe it, it's really hard for that affirmation to stick. So kind of the favorite analogy I give is, how many times have you been told to stand naked in front of the mirror and tell yourself that you love your body? That never worked for me. In fact, it made things worse, I think, for me. So you need to allow yourself time to adjust. And it starts with things like we talked about in the beginning, gratitude. How can you show your body some gratitude for showing up for you? Even though it might not be a size that you like right now, it's getting you through the day. It's getting you to work and back every day. It's helping you take care of your children, or it's giving you children. You're growing a child, maybe. Maybe you're pregnant and you're starting your family. Lots of body images come up during that period of life, but oh my gosh, that is like the most amazing thing that our bodies can do is create children. So be grateful. Try to find places where you can be grateful for your body, even if you don't quite like what it looks like. Because you know what? It's okay. You're not going to like your body every single day. And you may not ever get to the place where you love it, but you can be grateful for what it's giving you, and you can take the best care of it that you possibly can. Think of it kind of like as a car. If someone told you you could have any car you wanted, but it was the only car you could have for the rest of your life, you bet you would take immaculate care of it. Well, it's our bodies are the same thing. They're our vehicle. It's the thing that's getting us through life. And if we want to live long lives, long, healthy lives that we enjoy and can find happiness in, we have to take care of our body. So, like I mentioned before, feed it well, drink lots of water, get some sleep, move it around a little bit, and your body will respond in kind. And an amazing thing happens when you start to take care of your body and you start to feel the difference. You want to take care of it. You find different ways to take care of it, but you got to start somewhere. And starting somewhere doesn't mean you have to love your body when your feet hit the floor in the morning. You don't have to like it at all. Just show it a little gratitude and show it a little kindness. And like I said, it will respond in kind. All right, I think we are just about at the end of our time together this week. So thank you so much for listening to this Pay It Forward talk. And don't forget to check out the Life Coach University website where you can have access to a huge library of past Pay It Forward talks. And check out our Let's Coach schedule where we have coaches available at different days of the week. And you can hop on, no cost to you, to either be coached or just listen and get some coaching by proxy. And don't forget, the most important part, be sure to pay it forward today with some act of kindness. All right. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye.